Good Monday morning to you, all you lotheads. Hit that alarm clock, slap it as hard as you want to, because it's a Monday morning. Monday, October 7th at 6:30 a.m. Yeah, hit that alarm clock with some hate on it, man, because it's been a rough couple of weeks, baseball-wise, for myself. You'll notice I'm wearing my Astros hats. I will never stop repping them, by the way. I'm from the H, and just like Lance McCullers says, you can bury me there. Bury me in the H. Unfortunately, my Astros, just like my team, the Sandlots, bowed out in the first round of the playoffs, if you can call it that. It was a wild card round, something that we're new to in the Houston area, especially if you were born in the last 7 years. All you know is victory. So all of you haters can eat that on a Monday morning, a big, fat Astros. Heck, McDonald's. I eat your breakfast all the time, and I cannot remember the Egg McMuffin. There you go. There's a big hate McMuffin for you. Have that. Still reeling from our Sandlot loss in the playoffs as well, but you know what? We had little good news in the off season to wrap up our season. We had the league home run derby put on by the Fort Worth Men's Senior Baseball League and Friendly Baseball of Dallas Fort Worth. And this was part of the All-Star weekend, but unfortunately things got pushed back. So this past weekend, finally got together. All the guys got the band back together and participated in the Fort Worth Men's Senior Baseball League Home Run Derby. Representing your Sandlots were Steve Terrell, Landon Loggins, manager Bruce Raspberry, and David Raspberry to round out the top four participants. Now, both Bruce and David weren't actual participants. They were more of honorary electors, electees, whatever. They were they were honorary. So your two actual participants were Steve Terrell and Landon Loggins. And let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it for your boy, Landon Loggins, taking home the Home Run Derby title for your Sandlots. Way to go, Landon. Appreciate you repping. What a great job. Wish I actually had the stats for this, but I had some illness related to the heat that day, so I wasn't able to stay and get the final results or footage of Landon actually batting. But thanks to the league for providing some photographers, got some great pictures, photos, and coming up, got some really good interviews with members of the league, members of your Sandlots, and yeah, so stay tuned for that. But first things first, I do want to just take a second and assure everyone out there that the Houston Texans are a real threat to your football team. If you don't believe it, if you don't buy the hype, just watch a game. Heck, if we play all this season, don't send the hate this way. Don't say I didn't tell you, because if you've heard anything about these Texans, it's that they are young, they are upstarts, their quarterback is an amazing athlete and just wowing, turning heads everywhere, and they're just an undeniable force right now. Now, I'm not going to go into too much football here because this is a baseball show, but if you're looking for some good sports talk radio where we're going to have some good banter back and forth between Dallas fans and Houston fans, check out On Tap, the Totally Amateur podcast. Filming our first episode tonight, the Totally Amateur podcast with Dez and Raz. That'll be myself, along with Bruce Raspberry and some other guests that will join us from time to time. We will be doing these live and as well as rebroadcasting the tapings that we do on location at several local sponsors. So Don't forget to check that out tonight. I will put up a reminder, a link, and yeah, come check us out there. But back to baseball. I know that you guys have been dying to know how Bruce ended up doing in the home run derby. Bruce, did you hit any home runs?
I did, but we counted it in a negative because it went on the fence behind me. But hey, when you're 55 out here, it, not only did it get over, but it looked nice. It was high, had great rotation, and barely cleared it.
Velocity.
Oh, it had to be at least 35.
35 miles per hour. You
Yeah.
can't beat that.
Oh, you can. We can almost outrun that.
I think you did when I was telling it.
Hey, if it hits you, it hurts.
So there's Bruce talking about his long balls there. Unfortunately, Bruce didn't hit any the right way. Plenty of foul balls for the kids to shag. I don't know. Maybe they turned them into some free snow cones or burritos or something. We did have a food truck out there, which was amazing. Got two fat burrito, taco, whatever you want to call them, for $4. Now on a food truck, I can't say much, but the ones that I've been to are pretty pricey. They're pretty proud of their product. Not that these particular food truck wasn't, but hey, just know how to give a great value, how to promote their product at an event like this, and hey, just get the word out. I can't tell you how many guys were in the dugout talking about these tacos and how amazing they were. I myself didn't get to have one. I smelled them, and I definitely wanted one. Unfortunately, I was too busy at the time, but good to know for next time. So, yeah, come out next time. We're definitely going to have a food truck, and we got some big things in store for next season. Got a big party planned for opening day. Another, probably a better plan in place. Maybe some extra field rentals for the All-Star game and the festivities that surround that next season. This thing is coming together. The league president, John Beggarly, who I do have an interview with here in a little bit, and you'll get to check that out, had some really good things to say about the league and the future of the league, the number of teams that are going to be joining us next season, the things that we're doing to drum up interest and attendance to these games. So if that stuff kind of interests you, stay tuned for that. And John gave a great interview with lots of information there. Also, the point of really me being out there, aside from the home run derby, was to get interviews with these guys and just kind of bring you a couple of stories about how they got into the league. Was whether it was a buddy, your kid inspiring you to want to get back out and participate, whatever it may be. And that's the running theme with all of our shows, is trying to get guys to come out, be active. There's so many things pulling us in all these directions these days: social media, our work, our home lives, and hobbies. But this is a hobby for us, and we love it. And you might never know how good you really still are, or how much fun that you can have out here with these guys, if you don't come out and try. So just, nobody's a super athlete out here. We're all over 40, unless you want to join the younger leagues. But it's just a great way to get out, get some social activity going on that doesn't involve an electronic device. So here we go. I won't hold you up anymore. Hear the rest of my interview with Bruce as we sat in, and it was a hot day. You can look at us. We're just sweating. Our hats are crusted with salt. My hat was totally black when I arrived at this event, but it was super hot that day, and that's kind of what happened to me. I got overheated and had to wrap things up early and wasn't able to stay. But without further ado, I bring you manager of the Sandlots, Bruce Raspberry.
It's great. I wish we'd done this a long time ago. It's good. It'd been nice. We could have had more fans. But I think the more we grow this, I think it's going to be something that's it's going to be a lot of fun to do.
So this is the first time deal.
This is the first time for our league, yeah. So the gentleman who put this together, who kind of orchestrated it, he does a friendly baseball thing every week, and they do a home run derby, and he's been doing it for 3 years, and it's grown every year. So I think the guys come out here, they talk about this word of mouth, and I hope it does two things: get more people out to participate and grow our league. That's one thing we need to do. We need to grow our league. We need some guys 40 years old that think they don't have it, but you'll find out you got it. You got to come out here, just try it one time, and I promise you, you're going to have fun.
You're going to have fun. There's never a night out there that is not fun. Yeah, I can't really think of a night that was just bad. Even on nights when we've had questionable umpires, when we've had a little sticky situation with the other team or something like that, it always ends up being fun. And no matter what, we always meet on the mound after the game. My team personally meets before we hit the field, have a small prayer, just ask for God's blessing, on safety for the team and for allowing us to be out there doing what we love and hopefully representing him very well on a baseball field. But yeah, so the league is tight, and you'll hear Bruce talk about that in a minute. But definitely a fun time. And if you're looking for fun on a Friday night, whether you be a player or a player, wife, girlfriend, child, brother, sister, mother, father, or your random fans happen to drive by the park, say, ooh, there's some lights on. What's going on over there? Let's go check out some baseball. Hey, man, come out, check us out. Help us grow our league. It's not a bad time. Come out. If nothing else, you'll have a laugh watching Bruce try to hit home runs.
Most of the guys are out here. We've played together I've been doing this for almost 9 years. I've been coaching for 6 of it. And now I'm on the board. So I've gotten more involved over the years, got to know the guys. The cool thing is like you've done on your post before, we pray with just our team before the game, and it kind of helps us bring us together. We're the protection and lifting him up, and just being thankful to be able to do this. But the great thing is, no matter the outcome of the game, both teams gather at the mound and we pray.
Amen.
And we pray for each other. We pray for our families, and again, being thankful that for the families. I mean, our wives and kids, and significant others. They don't necessarily allow us, but they support us to come out and do this. But I'll tell you a prime example of the kind of brotherhood we have out here. And as you know, one of the things I was saying is I'm thankful for my brothers of the diamond. That's something I started saying a few years ago, and I like that because when we're on the diamond, we're brothers out here. My mother passed away recently, and not just my team reached out to me, but I had guys that were on another field that actually left their field, came to my field, gave me a hug, and told me sorry about my loss. After the game, the team that we played, and while I was playing, because I was actually catching that night, every one of them walked up and hugged me and told me this is from the other team. So yeah, it's competition. We have competition, but we also know we're a bunch of old men out here playing it too, and we don't take it for granted.
Yeah, we don't. So many of life's, other ways of distracting you is just, it's all taken away when you step out onto that field, walk out under the lights, and just recapture something that, made you feel a certain way, nostalgic. I always think of The Sandlot, the movie, when he's talking about a night game. It comes around one time a year on 4th of July where the lights are out and everybody's on the street. Sparklers are lighting up the sky, and you can play under those lights and see the fireworks going off and just feel like a big leaguer. And so on Friday nights when we put on that uniform, get dressed up, and, we may have some people show up and say, man, look at these guys fully dressed up and they're 40 years old, whatever. Hey, that's our thing. And we're proud of it. We're proud that, we get all the little latest gloves and fashions, step out on that field looking like a big leaguer, and then go out and make a game-changing error. It happens, man. We're 40 years old. We don't run like we used to. We don't bend like we used to. But heck, if we're not going to get dressed up and look good doing it. So, yeah. It's just a great way to come out, blow off some excess energy, get some exercise while you're at it, make some great friends, and just have fun on a Friday night. So one of the participants and probably one of the guys that I would have been my bet to be a finalist, if not the winner of the thing. Steven Terrell, center fielder for the Fort Worth Sandlots, and one of my best friends. He didn't do quite as well as I'm sure he was hoping, and I was hoping, but represented very well, and I'm sure had a great time doing it. And as always, just a great guy to be around. I love his energy. I love how much devotion he puts into his practice routine, and it's really like watching him and his son work together. It's a wonderful thing to watch. So here's Steve talking about his performance.
I wish I could have done a little bit better. I actually switched bats for this round. It was a little end loaded, but I should have probably stuck with the lighter bat.
So, which bat did you decide to rep today?
I don't know the name brand, but I know the end loaded is 243.
Okay.
240.
He couldn't remember the name brand because it was a brand new bat company that he had bought from. Kind of at my recommendation. I've used these bats before. It was probably one of the first bats that I bought when I started playing again. Made by M Powered Baseball. They offer several models, and I believe Steve was using the model 243. Awesome, solid bats that I used. And my particular two bats that I bought lasted across 2 seasons, which for me is pretty good, especially the way I swing these bats. But they're just solid bats, awesome. And Steve was pretty pleased with the results that he got.
I think everybody was breaking out. They didn't want to bring out the expensive bats.
No.
Bruce said he was using a $65 one, which is all good, brother. Yeah, good to be back out here.
Oh yeah,
So what you been doing with your off season?
man, just taking it easy. When I knew that I was gonna get in the home run contest, I just been taking a few swings in the backyard off the tee, just to stay loose, at least once a week. So
Yeah.
no, it's funny. My neighbor Derek, who plays on the team with us, he just told me, he said, "Hey, come on out and play catch and meet the guys and see how you like it." So I go out there, I'm playing catch. The next thing you know, Bruce is like, "Oh yeah, you're in left field." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "I'm not in baseball shape. I haven't swung a bat." So, but the thing is, when you love the sport and you start back playing, I mean, only thing you need to do is just get used to it. I wasn't worried about, getting injured or anything like that, because you can get injured just walking in your house or cutting the grass or doing something. So,
And that's one of the things too. No matter how long you've been out of the game, however you feel about your skills at this point in time, don't worry about it. Steve was in his front yard throwing the ball around, and Derek Surley, left fielder for the Sandlots, and neighbor, just asked him to throw the ball, come out, and next thing you know, he's starting in center field. And I really can't say enough about Steve being out there. It was kind of shaky the first couple of times, but hey, I can't say that I was on point either. But it's been a pleasure watching Steve just grow and watching his skills just get rehoned as his time out in center field has lengthened. He's made some great plays out there, some spectacular plays as well, and his bat is just come around to where it is just a sword of fire. It seems like at time he's got the sweetest swing I've seen in a long time and makes solid contact all the time. I can't believe he didn't do well. He didn't do better in this home run contest, but hey, just the opportunity to get out there and play and to have your kid watch you. Steve's son is probably somewhere around in the 12 to 15-year-old age, and is a great athlete in his own right. Coming up and watching some of his highlights, hey, he's gonna be a beast. But to have that inspiration and to have that the companionship of your son, just to be able to watch you recapture some of your youth, it's got to be a great experience.
It's because of him. You know, I try to get him to show him how the game should be played. I can't play it like I used to, but I still have, I show up every now and then and do certain things that surprises me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I didn't know I still can do that. You know,
Didn't know he could still do that. Come on, man. Dude stepped on the field and did not look back. Yeah. Kind of funny thing, I kind of did something this season that I didn't think I'd ever do again. I had dove and caught a ball, sharp grounder down the third base line, and that was something that I prided myself on when I was younger, is being able to catch those kind of rocket shots left or right, where it's just nothing but reaction, laying out, and hand-eye coordination. And I had the opportunity to grab one of those this season, and that felt really good. So I can only imagine how Steve feels. I can only imagine how you would feel making one of those plays. So, hey, if you just have any thoughts of, hey, man, can I still do that? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And Steve right there is a prime example of it. And here's some more interviews with guys that can kind of give their own personal experience of how they came into the league, what their experiences was, maybe a little bit of the thought before they came out to tryouts or join the league. Here's Matt Martinez of the Sox.
Is that correct?
25 plus
25,
technically, yeah.
20.
I'm the youngest actually. I'm 25, so
Okay. All right. There you go. So how was your experience this season?
it was good. My first year in the league, it was really good. I've been out of baseball for a while and decided to get in it, and it was good being back in competition.
Guys, this is exactly what we're talking about. Been talking to our audience about, just jumping up more participation in the league throughout the age group, especially in 40 plus. But any bodies to get out and just fill this league with teams. More competition is great. So this is your first season out.
Yep.
What are some of the thoughts that you had before you decided to come out and try out or stuff like that?
Well, I wanted to get into a league that wasn't just going to be, kind of just like a beer league, right? You get a lot of those leagues nowadays. It's kind of like that softball adult. You just drink all the time. Yeah.
But you do, and then you get up, you realize that it's not that serious, but it is good competitive baseball
Yeah.
on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Again, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah,
Good
thank
luck
you.
next season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Matt Martinez of the Sox. Had a good time talking to him. He was kind of on the bench down a little bit down from me for most of the event, and I just had a great time with him and a lot of the other guys. I wish I could have got more interviews, but like I said, man, it was just brutally hot that day, and I wish I could have felt better. So next up in this interview, we're going to have a very special interview with the league president, John Beggarly. And this was a great interview. I enjoyed the time sitting there and talking with John. Just had a wealth of information about the little policies that they've instituted over the last couple of years. One in particular that is allowing sons that aren't quite of age to play in our league, but if they're a son of someone on the team, they have made a way for the youthful member to play on the team, and so that gives a father-son opportunity, which is just priceless, man. It's just priceless. I love watching the dynamics between Bruce and David. It's funny a lot of the times because David is just like his dad, very funny dude, and it's just banter back and forth, never a dull moment. I do have some older interviews that I need to bring up with David because he's a character. But it was a pleasure to have him out this season, and I can't wait to have him back. And I know Bruce is enjoying this very much. And so without further ado, here's my interview with John and his thoughts on the upcoming season.
The other thing we've done for your upper division, the 40-plus division, is we instituted that father and son clause for Bruce so that he could play with his son. So if you're, we have the within a couple of years of 40, we'll make an exception. They just can't pitch.
I will make a note real quick that he said they did that for Bruce. Bruce Bruce is a league vice president, so he has some pull, but I don't think he had anything to do with that one. That was more of just John Hayes saying this is a great idea, so let's just try this. Let's institute it this season and see how it goes. But when it comes to policy and that kind of stuff, for our league in particular, Bruce has not a whole lot of say. He's mainly over the 25 and up, so. Yeah, just a little caveat there.
We opened that up a little bit more and said, hey, if you've got a son who's in the 25 plus league, he could play with us. So we let the father and son duos get in the league and play. And so Bruce's son came out and well, we've been lucky enough. I've been doing this long enough that I've had, over the course of years, I've had probably 3 different father-son duos. And it brings something kind of cool to a team. So I wanted to make sure that we put something in for that, especially for y'all's group. You got a tinger.
Hey, there's one.
Gadberry.
One of your guys.
Yeah.
Cadbury.
Shortstop Dylan Gadberry.
Hey, what bat did you use up there? Any local bat maker you repping today, or
Yeah, I use my own bat.
your
Homemade bat.
homemade bat?
Lone Star Lumber. They're rare. You got to make an appointment to get one made anymore. I don't really have time to make very many bats, but I do still keep myself in bats.
That's another thing too. In this league, with it being a hobby league, a lot of guys have really invested in their equipment. A lot of guys have invested time in things relating to baseball. Like John here has his own bat company, makes his own bats. Probably has made some in the past for other guys. And he's just one of a few guys that I know that do this, that make bats. If anyone is interested, I will try to get some links together so that you can put in, an order if you're looking for a bat, and kind of make it easier to find local bat makers. I'm not sure what you would call them. I'm not sure what the technical name is. But, hey, these guys make wood into baseball bats. And for the most part, I believe they're pretty solid. So, hey, that's another thing, another avenue if you're looking for something baseball centric. I don't know what the word is, but there it is. John and Lone Star Lumber. So if you're looking for a bat, like you said, he doesn't have a whole lot of time to do it now, but if you're interested, check out his website.
I think one of the gifts today is for the absolute most dominant champion. I'll be giving out a 1 custom Lone Star Lumber bat today. But you have to come to the bat shop and get it made. Still having a good time.
Yes, sir. So any big changes coming up next season for the league, or?
Well, we're in the process of recruiting more teams. We know that we're losing at least 1 team, so we're trying to get 1 back in, and we're going to try to grow by 2 teams every season.
Guys, if you know anyone or a group of anyone's that would like to put a team together, give us a call. Hit us up on our website or the MSBL website, Friendly Baseball, one of the hundreds of outlets that you can find for local amateur baseball, and just put an application in. It's a little investment money-wise, but hey, if you can get someone to sponsor you or sponsor your team, it might not cost you anything, and you can get out there and play. But the thing is, we just want guys to come out, meet us, try out, have a good time. Even if you don't like the tryouts or whatever, at least you came out and did that, had some fun for a weekend or something. But yeah, let's see if we can't grow this thing and make this league something, a destination on a Friday night for people that love baseball, but don't want to pay the high prices of major league sports or, college. Hey, get out and support your colleges. They're, but whatever. But hey, another topic for another time is the price of live sporting events and TV packages. We'll get to that probably on the wrap. I'm sorry, on tap. And yeah, another topic. But let's get back to this.
So we're actively recruiting right now, talking to different groups, talking to different people. Some of the other coaches are interested. We offer a good Friday night product, and seems to appeal to a lot of folks. Yeah, we've got a few teams that are clearly a magnitude better, but for the most part, the games are pretty competitive.
Now, let me say something about the competitive, the parity in our league. There are a few teams that are what we would call stacked. It's not like you go out and recruit these guys. There's not a whole lot of us. But one of the attractions of the leagues around here is they are pro-am leagues. So we do have ex-pros in the league. But some of the teams are just a cut above. But it's just, you never know in baseball. The Rangers actually won the league championship over the Yotes and Stros. Now, the Yotes and Stros were 13-0 during the regular season and are just one of those teams that are just very difficult to beat. They're good hitters. They got decent pitching. But it's like football. Any given night, any given Friday night, we can go out there and put up a good game. We've played the Yotes very hard over the last couple of seasons, and the Rangers took them down in the championship. So it's not like they can't be beat, and it's actually a fun way of measuring the strength of your team. Now, we are very excited about next season when it comes to the Sandlots. And again, I'll get to that in a few minutes, but let's finish up this interview with
So
John.
I feel like we've got a pretty even spread out there, and it's a lot of fun for the guys who can make it. There's something special to be said for playing under the lights on Friday night. He's done a great job with it. He runs quite a few games through there in the summer, and all these field rentals that we do with these fields go straight to the programs. We put in those new rails in front of their dugouts. I don't know if you've seen them, but they used to have the same block wall fence as these guys, and now they've extended that dugout out 5 feet, have the beautiful padded rails just like them. So it's fun seeing our league impact these high schools and make their fields a little bit better. We're doing the best we can to make nice with all these high school coaches so that they continue to give us access. And with every new field we get, those coaches are able to say, okay, these guys aren't so terrible. It's not the Sunday league that we remember when we used to be 22 years old and go out and drink beer all night on Friday, come in hungover and fight with somebody on Sunday morning.
Right.
We don't do that anymore. No. It's old for that.
Yeah. Hey, man, I can't say enough about these fields. This one in the home run derby here could a little use the manicuring, but it looks like it had been out of use for a few weeks before we got there. So no big deal. We've played on this field before, and it looked a lot better than it did that Sunday. Plus, it was hot. It hadn't rained in forever. So understandable. It was a little dusty out there. But as far the fields that we play on, Rockwood has always been pretty decent. But these new fields that the league has come into cooperate with have been amazing, man. Benbrook in particular felt like a big, just a prime time game, if you will. The field was perfectly manicured. The dugouts were cushy, comfortable, plenty of space, and like those walls that he was talking about, they had knocked those down, extended the dugout a little bit, and it just felt like a big league dugout. So the bleachers section was covered. The fans were happy. It just gave a great backdrop to our game, and probably kicked us up a few notches on the amp meter just because stepping on that field was like, oh yeah, let's get it done, man. This is good. So thanks to the league administration for making that happen. Looking forward to acquiring some new fields next season, hopefully, that we can work with and continue to get these things looking good, man. Looking good. Having a feel good field on there. Not having to worry about crazy injuries due to very unkempt fields or anything like that. So thank you, John. And we'll wrap this up with you.
Yeah, we're going to do something. We were trying for the All-Star game, but because of all the rainouts, we needed the weekend that we had designated for that. We needed to make up time so that we weren't playing ball into October again. So instead, we decided to do something like this. Based on our feedback from this, we'll try to do it again next year, and we'll still try to add an additional All-Star game for that as well. We have some of the new league merchandise and memorabilia that we're going to be awarding to people. I don't know if you've seen any of the new championship hats or anything like that.
I have not. We'll have to get some shots to put them up on the.
Sure. I think the championship package this season was a hat that's labeled with your division and your champion. There's some patches that we used on the hats that are free floating patches, and then we got challenge coins made for the Fort Worth MSBL. So a little something to take with you for all this. We'll be giving out different pieces for different levels of participation here today. So we're just glad to have this many volunteers and this many participants. This is fun.
Yeah.
Right. When we try to make this league, we try to accommodate that. Sometimes guys, even at our age, they just can't get along. So we try to have something in place to get it. Okay, this guy isn't working with his chemistry over here. We'll send him over here.
Hey, real quick, John was answering a question that I had about transactions in the leagues, and I'm not talking about financial transactions. I'm talking about actually like trades or people moving between teams, which doesn't happen a whole lot unless teams disband and reform. But we've had an experience with our team and a particular player that just kind of fell out. We had a falling out with, and it wasn't anything personal or anything like that. Guy was an excellent player. Everybody loved him. It was just there was some drama at times, not particularly with him and us, but with other teams, and it just it wasn't a good look for us. We didn't feel so. We kind of decided to part ways, and this past season, he turned up on the Yotes, which was a surprise. Nobody kind of saw it coming or knew anything about it. But when it did happen and we saw him on the field, our first reaction was like, hey, there's our buddy. Let's go say hi. We wanted to, make amends and everything and just kind of put everything in the past, which we did. And it turned out to be a great game. And he actually competed very well against us and helped the Yotes put us down that night. But it's just one of those aspects of baseball and being in a league play for so many years that you get to play with these guys and know them, and then he goes to another team. So it was kind of odd in a way, but you just want to show out and put on your best performance against someone, especially when they're pitching against you. And so that was fun, but it was also just another aspect, another experience, if you will, another baseball experience, competition, sports, whatever it is, to do that. And it was really fun. It was really fun playing against your friend. You want them to do well, but you want to do well against them. So, hey, if you have guys that are good friends of yours that y'all want to come out and play together, play on the same team. And if not, see if y'all can get spread out in to different teams and play against each other. That just enhances the competition, enhances the fun that we play, that we have while we're playing, and it just gives it a totally different feel. And it's a fun thing. So if you haven't experienced that, there's just one more reason to come out and join us. And let's wrap with John.
John, thanks for joining us today, man.
You bet, man. I
Really
appreciate
looking
you having me.
forward to everything that's coming in the future and having a blast today.
Hey, man, we appreciate you putting this out here, getting us out on social media and helping our presence on that front too. So your podcasts have been pretty cool for what I've seen for the Sandlots over the season. So that's pretty neat to see. So keep up the good work too.
Thank you.
We'll see you later,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And that's going to put a bow on the 2024 season for your Sandlots. So all that's left now is your favorite time of season, our fall sponsorship drive. We will be looking for funds for the next season. It doesn't come for free. We understand that. We are growing our social media presence. We are growing our fan base on the daily. So this is your chance to get in and support a good cause. Some of our donations actually go to help the Wounded Warrior Foundation. Bruce has more information on that. We will get that to you shortly. Also, I am excited to tell you about the On Tap Totally Amateur podcast with Des and Raz. So this is going to be a podcast that Bruce and I are starting, where it's just two guys, sometimes three or four guys. Who knows? This thing is still in the works, but it's two guys riffing on sports and what have you. None of it is based in fact, unless we find it on the internet or something. Of course, then no need to fact check. But it is going to be our uneducated, unfiltered, and unintelligent commentary on the state of sports, with a focus on amateur sports, amateur baseball in particular. But we'll cross the spectrum. But you don't want to miss that. We will be broadcasting live at venues around the Fort Worth area. So if you're excited about that, and you should be, because, hey, who doesn't like to sit around, drink beer, and talk about sports? And you don't have to do any research on it. You just give your opinion. And your opinion on our podcast is truth. That's why it's totally amateur. None of this is professional. Heck, our equipment isn't even professional. Shout out to Timu for my camera stand there. Thank you. Professional grade products. Made not in America. But let's remedy that, and that'll probably get dropped. Hey, my non-existent audio engineer over there, go ahead and cut that. We'll leave that on the floor during editing. So, have I forgotten anything? I don't think I have. It is now time to wrap things up. Thank you for joining me on the wrap today. I am Dez Valdez, your host. We hope to see you next season at the Fort Worth Sandlots games. We will start blowing up your inbox here pretty soon at the start of the new season. And as more information comes out from the league about the happenings for opening day and whatnot, we will get that to you as soon as possible. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting your Sandlots. Thank you for checking out our YouTube and our other socials. We are at FW Sandlots on Facebook and Instagram, FW Sandlots on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share, as we would like to grow this thing and blow it up. Blow it all up, you damn dirty apes. I'm out.